Hey guys, what's up? Most of us think that Sega Genesis games are really cheap and very easy to find everywhere you go. And that is true to some extent, but there are those games that are really hard to find and also very expensive. And today, I'm going to present to you the rarest, or rather the most expensive JRPGs on the system. And oh boy, sit tight, because this is gonna hurt. Alright, let's start with Shining Force 2. Thankfully, the first Shining Force is a little cheaper than this one, so that's why I didn't include it on the list. But Shining Force 2, even though a loose cartridge can go from a range between $40 and $50, of course for a good condition copy, not one of those cartridges that are scratched or damaged or something like that. Let's say a mint condition cartridge, you can get it for like between $40 and $50. But complete in box, with the manual, good condition, wow, it's between $90 and $100 US dollars, that's right. Remember that in this video I'm only covering North American releases, and I also don't want to include those cardboard box editions that came out of some games, so only the normal Genesis complete in box copies that we know. And Shining Force 2, one of the best strategy RPGs on the system and a great influence on the genre. $100 if you want this game complete in box. Next up is Beyond Oasis. This is an action RPG and, well, it is about exactly the same price as Shining Force 2, although since this game is not that known and not that sought after as Shining Force 2, it can become a little bit harder to find, but the price for the loose cartridge goes between $40 and $50, whereas the complete in box version goes between $90 and $100. Obviously, if you guys are lucky and go to your local game stores, resellers, pawn shops, second-hand shops, etc. Maybe you can find these games for less than that, hopefully. I mean, I hope you will. But the current market price, as of the making of this video, for Beyond Oasis, this really fun action RPG, complete in box, is $100 game. That's right. Moving on to Warsong, also known as Langreaser. That is correct, this is the first Langreaser in the entire series and the only one back then that was localized outside Japan. On the Sega Genesis they called this Warsong, and a loose copy of this amazing strategy RPG, very addicting to play, with a great soundtrack and also very hard, in my opinion, one of the hardest on the Genesis. A loose cartridge between $50, $60 maybe? Let's call it $50. A complete in-box edition of this game, complete with manual obviously, and good condition, acceptable condition, maybe mint condition, between $120 or $130. That's right, check your prices on eBay or wherever you want and you will find this game for around that price. Is it worth it? That is the question. Well, for previous games in this list, I think the loose cartridges are worth it. Complete in box, if you're a hardcore fan, or if you're a hardcore collector, and if you can pay $100 for each one of those games if you want them complete in box, then sure, I think it's worth it. Because these games are actually pretty good, especially Shining Force 2. And Warsong, in my opinion, is better than Shining Force 2. It's a great game. And if you're a hardcore collector and you're kind of rich, well, go ahead and spend $130 for it. Coming up next, Phantasy Star 4. That's right, this has been quite expensive for a while. Although the loose cartridge, you can still find it for between $40, $50, $60. $60, I mean, I've rarely seen this game for less than that, but I can guarantee that you will not find it for less than that. So $60. However, this game complete in box goes for around the same price as Warsong, $120, $130. The difference is that, well, this is a much better game. This is the absolute best JRPG on the Sega Genesis, in my opinion, of course. It's my absolute favorite Phantasy Star, and a lot of people agree with me, thankfully. And the fact is that people are looking more for this game than Warsong. So Phantasy Star 4 is a classic, it's among the best, and the price is gonna keep rising over and over again, maybe each month, maybe each year. By the way, the PAL version of this game is a little bit more expensive. A complete in-box Mega Drive version of this game goes for around $150. Last but not least, and yeah, definitely not least, Crusader of Santee. Oh man, this is gonna scare you. This is the absolute holy grail of RPGs on the Sega Genesis. There's a huge, and I mean huge, abyssal difference between this game and all the others in this entire video. This Legend of Zelda clone, more like Link to the Past clone with strong RPG elements, action RPG. Wow, are you ready? Are you ready? The loose cartridge, just the cartridge, just the cassette. That's a $220 game, man. That's right, you want this game so badly and you want to spend $200 or more for this game just for the cartridge? Go ahead. It's a good game, it is. It's not one of the greatest on the Genesis, so I don't think it's worth $200 or even less, but up to you. Now, are you ready for the complete in-box price? Oh yeah, sit tight. $400. That's right. This game, you can find it between $380, $400, $420. That is what the North American complete in-box version of this game goes for nowadays. I'm pretty sure it's way cheaper in Europe and in Japan, of course. But if you want a North American version, be ready to pay $400. My God. Jesus, these games. And like I said, is it worth it? Not in my opinion, but if you really want it, well, there you go. So that's it, guys. Those are the 5 rarest and currently, as of the making of this video, most expensive JRPGs on the Sega Genesis. Man, that Crusader of Santee, it's been the holy grail for quite a while. That price just hurt my balls, man. That is correct. Guys, don't forget that I have a new second channel that I'll leave in the description below, so you can go and subscribe and watch new content, because I will be uploading videos every single week. That's right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time.